Hello, hello. I am Brittany Rowe. I am energy. I am powerful, and I am who I say I am. Today, I wanted to talk to you all about the secrets of Thoth. Thoth the Atlantean. So, first of all, I put a picture on my little avatar screen so you can see. So you can see. Maybe you've seen this picture. For those of you who are still in religion, you may have seen this picture before. And I just wanted to talk briefly about this energy because the information that I'm sharing with you predates biblical texts. And I was reading this last night and it put something heavily on my mind about the comparison between Jesus and this energy Thoth. And so I just wanted to share with you, and I'm not going to get too deep. I just want to share how the comparison of Jesus and Thoth is from the emerald tablets in comparison to the biblical text. And so after I share this with you, you use your own judgment, your own discernment, because this is your own journey. I could only inspire you. Hi, Tiffany. Thank you for being here. I could only inspire you. But the reason why I wanted to share is because you all know I was heavily into church. And so, being heavily into church, I've read the biblical text many times. I said in many services, because everybody in my family, mother, brother, sisters, aunts, uncles, everybody was in church, y'all. Everybody was a pastor, evangelist, prophet, or something. So I was there too, and I listened to this all the time. I read my Bible all the time. So I look at the biblical text a little bit different from most people that are in church that may let the pastor just, preach the word and tell them what it means. I like to find out what it means to me and apply it to my right now physical reality. I like to decode things. I like to not give these people like physical form, but apply them, their struggles to my struggles, their consciousness to my consciousness, their awakening to my awakening and becoming sage in life. Because really, no matter where you come reading from, what text you're reading from, it's about a journey of becoming. Point blank, period. It's about you. So anyway, so this particular Emerald Tablet book predates the biblical text. Though his self, for those who may not know, he was Egyptian god of wisdom, of magic, and of writing. He, in physical form, in his text, says that he's the one that built the pyramids and the Sphinx, And when I think about Thoth in his name, I think about the word thought. And it's interesting that just because of the spelling of it, and it's interesting that I'd say that because in the Emerald Tablets, they talk about in the beginning, how I speak to you all about in the beginning was word. In the beginning, I always say in the beginning was the word, and word was with God, and word was God. And so what I'd be saying at the pivotal moment is that in the beginning there was just thought, the collective consciousness. So if I was to explain that to someone, I would say in the beginning was that thought or thought. And so with saying that, it's interesting because I read in the Emerald Tablets that there was nothingness or that consciousness, and in that nothingness came a thought. And it was a purposeful thought, an all-pervading thought, and it filled the void, right? So basically, it's saying that there was eternal thought. But for a thought to be eternal, time must exist. So in that all-pervading thought grew the law of time. And this is directly from the Emerald Tablet. It says that time changes not, but all things change in time. For time is the force that holds events separate, each in its own proper place. Time is not in motion, but ye move through time as your consciousness moves from one event to another. By time, ye exist, all in all, an eternal one existence. Know ye that even though in time ye are separate, ye still are one in all times existence. So basically what I get out of that is that time is really an illusion, because we are really not separate one from another. We're having different experiences in different realms, and it's all just consciously. And so I want to share some things that I wrote on my notes last night in comparison with Jesus and Thoth. In reading the Emerald Tablets, it says, if the light is in you, the light in the tablets will respond. And so, you know how in the biblical text when Jesus was talking to the disciples, and he always spoke in parables. He spoke in parables, and they questioned him and asked him in the text, why do you speak in parables? And he, in pretty much layman terms, he would say, because the message wasn't for everybody. This is where I get the title of my book, He Who Has an Ear, Let Him Hear, because I know the message is not for everybody. So they both was on the same frequency, because Thoth was saying, if the light is in you, the light in the tablets will respond. So there are some people that could read the emerald tablets and the light is not in them because the message is not for them. And they would not get that understanding. This is why it's so important for you to seek knowledge, or us to seek knowledge and seek truth, to find out if this message is talking to our soul, speaking to us and activating us. Because in these tablets, they even have a section where they call out the names of the chakras, the pools of energies inside of them. And when you call out those pools of energies, they activate the chakras inside of you. They activate it in your head, in your brain, and you will feel the sensation when you speak the names. Words that you've never spoken before have the ability through sound, which is energy and frequency. All things are energy, frequency, and vibration. So there are certain words that will activate your avatar self in this book. So anyway, nonetheless, I was also reading how Thoth was mighty. He was a mighty king and a musician, but remembering that, well, Jesus was a rabbi and a teacher and a musician in the biblical text. And so Thoth, he traveled in the halls of Amenti, which to me is like a generation chamber of reincarnation, right? Lifetime after lifetime, until we evolve to that higher self, regenerating. And so Jesus in the biblical text talks about traveling to the gates of hell. And they also speak of the book of life. Jesus in the biblical text says, I go to prepare a place that where I am, ye shall be also. While Thoth in the emerald tablet says, well, surely I will come again. Betray not my secrets. And so, as I was reading, I began to remember how I always believed when I was a little girl reading the Bible, how it seemed to me that this was about a man reincarnating. And in my mind, in my youthful mind, I thought like, okay, so there was this guy, Adam. But see, I was at that time given, physical features and, meaning. But there was this guy, Adam. And so Adam was the first so-called man. And so he sinned, in the garden, for example. He let Eve tempt him to, go bite the apple. And so then further on, they have other beings, other characters in this biblical text that came forth. And then there was this so-called Elijah man, the Moses man. And then And then further along, you get the Jesus. So in my mind, when I was younger, I was almost there with my understanding, still youthful, but what I was thinking was, might be the same man, seemed like. This might be this man reincarnating and trying to get it. It seems to me like this man is coming back over and over and over again until he evolved to his higher self. Could it not be that Adam reincarnated into Elijah and Elijah reincarnated into Jesus? And so it reminds me of when Jesus would say in the biblical text, no man can enter into the kingdom of God unless he is born again. And so in the Emerald Tablet, Thoth says, chosen was I from the sons of men, taught by the dweller, so that his purpose might be fulfilled. Well, Jesus said that the sign of the Son of Man will appear in heaven. Jesus also said in that biblical text that no man can get through the Father except by him. So both of them feel chosen. Thoth says, receiving the key of life in the halls of Amenti, bound I not to death. Jesus says, rising from the dead, don't touch me. Remember when he was saying, don't touch me, I have not ascended. I have not conquered time and space yet. I have not ascended to the Father yet. Thoth called himself the Son of Man, or that, governed underneath the children of the Son. Jesus called himself the Son of Man too. Thoth said, now I depart, know my commandments and keep them and be them. Jesus said, well, if you love me, keep my commandments. And so I'm sharing this with you because there are so many hidden truths in ancient knowledge for the seeker. And that's just it. You or us, we have to seek knowledge for ourselves. We have to be free individual thinkers for ourselves. It says in the tablets, seeing the children of men in their bondage, that's us, the so-called earthbound beings, bound by the force that came from beyond, knew they that only by freedom from bondage could man ever rise from the earth to the sun. And so what I get out of that, my understanding of that, is that only the free thinking individuals, only the people that are using their conscious mind, their own thinking, only the ones that are waking up and seeking truth in this age is this message for. And so not only that, there's this other interesting part before I go that I want to leave with you all. It's the fact that they talk about in the Emerald Tablets guarding the secrets. Guarding the secrets. And it's interesting in the book of Revelations. The book of Revelation, I instantly was reminded of that. You know how they talk about in the book of Revelation, if anyone removes any of these words from this book of prophecy, they will be removed from the book of life, and plagues will be put upon them. Well, the same thing is being said in the Emerald Tablets in so many words. By Thoth, it's saying, now I depart from ye into darkness. Now I go into the halls of Amenti. There I dwell in the future, when light shall come again to man. Know ye, my spirit shall ever be with thee, guiding thy feet in thy path of light. Guard ye the secrets I leave with thee. and surely my spirit will guard thee through life. Keep thy eyes ever on the path to wisdom. Keep the light as I go evermore. Feather not thy soul in bondage of darkness. Free, let it wing in its flight to the stars. Now I depart thee to dwell in amenity. Be thou my children in this life and the next. The time will come when ye too shall be deathless, living from age to age, a light among men. Guard ye the entrance to the halls of amenity. Guard ye the secrets I have hidden among ye. Let not the wisdom be cast to barbarians. Secret shalt thou keep it for those who seek light. Now I depart. So I wanted to share that because there's so many things that I can share with you and so many reasons why I do not. Because at the end of the day, this is your journey and you have to be the seeker. Even as a mother, a mother's love is so eternal and so unconditional for her children. They too have to be the seeker. And that's really all that I wanted to share with y'all in order to quicken your soul, your spirit, to wanting to know more of the secrets of Thoth, ultimately wanting and yearning to know more of the secrets of yourself. From my heart to yours, babe. Be blessed.